Hello, my name is Sean Ennis, and thank you for joining me here on the Creative Collective. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. He's a singer and recording artist from Montgomery, Alabama, Jarl Far.
How y'all doing?
Hey, thank you for joining me today. So you have a really interesting artist stage name. Can you talk about how that came about?
To be honest with you, it has a really nerdy background because I'm a big fan of Skyrim. Back when I was 18, I think that's not song, but that game came out. I've been a big fan of it, and the characters in Skyrim, they have these particular men that control the stronghold of their cities. They name them Jarls, pretty much a person of high standard. They're like kings of some sort. They pretty much dictate what happens in that city. They control everything that comes in and out of that city. And it's like, and I looked up the actual word for Jarl, and it's like basically a Scandinavian word for a nobleman. So that's why I picked the name Jarl. And FAR used to be my old name, which stands for Fear Acknowledge My Reign. But I just thought it was a little too much, so I just condensed it down to Jarl Far. I thought it was a dope name to go with.
Now, where were you born and raised?
Born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama. Been there all my life, pretty much. Montgomery is it's capital of Alabama, but it's a pretty small city compared to the other major cities. But it has some historical backgrounds to it. You know, you can go down there and see Martin Luther King House. You can go down there to the museums and see how the scenario of Rosa Parks went down and everything. And then they actually, one thing that's cool about it, they actually had Rosa Parks' funeral down there, and I actually attended that funeral when I was a kid. So it's pretty cool place, but just not a lot of exposure down there if you want to actually be an artist. So to actually make it out there, I feel like you have to venture out to other places. So that's why I made the move.
Wow, that's a pretty significant moment to attend the funeral of someone with as much notoriety as Rosa Parks. What sort of impression or effect did that have on you?
I was a kid, so to be honest with you, at the time, I really didn't. I knew who Rosa Parks was, but my mama said we're gonna go to Rosa Parks' funeral, and I'm like, okay. And I didn't know how huge of a name she was, because I was only like 7 at the time, I think it was. And she when they had her funeral, we couldn't even get inside the actual church. It was just everybody was just outside, and we saw how they carried her casket in, but we didn't actually see the service. But it was pretty remarkable because they had a lot of historical things of like what went down and how everything went about. It was really remarkable, and it's like kind of like a culture shock, really, because of so much information that I absorbed at a young age at that time. So.
Now, what sort of role did music have on you as you were growing up?
Growing up, to be honest with you, I wasn't really big on music growing up. I was always from like my ages to 5, from 5 to like 14. I wasn't big on listening to music. I was just like whatever I heard is what I heard at the time. But I was big on like comic books, kid stuff, comic books, video games, all this other stuff. I didn't really get into music until I was 15. When I turned 15, and my friend Fizzo, he had gave me. I had a PSP with like 15 gigabytes. Or no, more than I think it was more than that. Probably about 15 gigabytes. I think it was. And he like just put a whole bunch of music on my PSP, and I just like listened to all of it. Like it took me like almost 3 months to listen to all that music he gave me, and like I was just listening to all of it. And that's when I really like got a real good feel for music, and I was like, this is amazing. And then that's when they started rapping. They was already rapping, and I heard them like rapping, so I was like, let me try it out. So I tried it out when I was 16 one time, and I just started writing random verses. And they were like, oh, this is pretty dope. You should keep going. And that's how it started, really. So.
And do you remember what was some of the music or some of the artists that you initially started listening to?
Oh yeah, I can tell you off the jump was for one, growing up, Wayne was always in my household. Young Jeezy was always in my household. Jay-Z, Nas, like I always heard them. But actually, when I got into music, hardcore Jay-Z, lot of in that 2009 era was like when I first got into music, I was listening to a lot of Big Crit, a lot of Currency, a lot of Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, it's a lot, Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle, XB was in that category too. I was just listening to a lot of different artists, and that's how I got. That's what really channel my inner rapper. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And now, what kind of music currently is your favorite to listen to?
Right now, I listen to. I like listening to a lot of different stuff. Actually, sometimes I can. I go back to listen to like, cause I had just like got into like alternative and punk rock kind of thing, and I've been listening to like older stuff, like older MCR, My Chemical Romance, for the people that don't know the acronym, Paramore. Been listening to a lot lately. Been listening to a lot of Smashing Pumpkins, because Kid Cudi, I forgot in the last question, put Kid Cudi in there. I listen to a lot of Kid Cudi, by the way. And just a lot of different I just try to listen to a lot of different sounds that sounds good to my ear, that I can probably add to my own personal style. But on the rapping side, lately I've been listening to a lot of Nipsey Hussle, and a lot of Big Crit and Currency, and J. Cole, who has been tremendous for the past 2 years. So that's pretty much all I've been listening to for the moment.
Now, being that you listen to various types of music and music from other genres, what sort of effect do you think that has on the original music that you create?
Well, the thing is, when I listen to different types of genres, it gives me different ways of presenting myself on a track. Like I can go hardcore hip hop, or I can go on this alternative style, or I can go on this have this type of rock feel to my song, like not as of instrumentation rock, but like writing styles. Because the reason I listen to different genres is to listen to different writing styles and try to critique my writing style, learn from those writing styles and critique my own. You know, so it's that's one reason I listen to different genres, just for the writing style more than the actual instrumentation itself. Because I'm big on lyrics, so that's one thing I feel like. I know every artist doesn't have it, but I feel like, me personally, I think my lyrics should stand out, and or why not stand out? I should say mesh well with that particular instrument.
And can you talk about when you started to write original music and record original music?
Oh yeah. I started recording original music around 2013. I was working on a project that I wasn't able to release yet, called the Aurora Theory. I worked with a lot of different producers that year, 2013. And then I got to the point where I was actually trying to put it out, but I wasn't able to. So that's when I got to my Lost Times EP. Well, it was an EP at first when I first put it out back in early 2015, and I released the deluxe edition, which had 10 songs on it. But yeah, I started back in 2013 writing original music, and that's what really got me into forging my artistry, you know. So yeah, and then I dropped Lost Times in 2015, and that was my debut. So.
Now, going from someone who is just a fan of music and listening to music, and transitioning to someone who writes and records original music, what made you want to become an artist?
Really, what made me want to become an artist is watching different people perform, because I really like watching people perform. Like I go on YouTube and saw one time I saw Jay-Z. I watched the Jay-Z Fade to Black concert, and it was amazing. Like the way he just delivers those songs when he performs them was amazing. And it's like the way the crowd, the energy of the crowd, and like how they feeding him and making him like just flow freely. It's just amazing, and I would love to experience that one day. So that's what really got me into, like, man, I would love to actually be on stage and see so many people so into your music, so into your sound, and just free flowing all your music, and they just feeding you energy. Like, I think that's just amazing.
What would you say makes you different from other artists?
I try to make my music sound kind of on the kind of like I try to make my music sound animated in a way. To elaborate on that, like I always have references of different types of comic books and anime, and also I write from experience. So I mix what I went through back in my old town, my old hood, and try to mix that with my love for comic books, animes, video games, different types of stuff, and I just mesh it well together. And I just also try to create storylines, try to create different scenarios with my music, and that's why I try to have a lot of like skits in my music. Also, try to write skits in my music to give people some sort of entertainment when they listen to my project. So
now, I'm an '80s baby, and you know the when I really got into music, it was still CDs as the medium. So I
Yeah.
remember that it was, you know, every album had skits. A skit at the beginning, most likely a
Mm-hmm.
skit at the end, and then some skits in the project as well. As we
Yeah.
transition to the mixtape era, that's kind of gone. That's kind of gone away. So that's really
Yeah.
interesting that that's something that you continue to incorporate into your music. Why
Oh
why
yeah.
is that something that's important to you?
Well, one thing about it, I'm a '90s baby, but I went like I didn't when the '90s was like the music was popping. I was too young to actually catch everything, so I went back and listened to Tupac, Biggie, Big L, Big Pun, Eminem, Rakim, all of them. I listened to them, and like the way, even Dr. Dre, the Chronic, like the way he did the skits on that album, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, the way he did the skits on that album, like it was just remarkable. Like I just love. I just feel like it brings more flavor to your project when you do that, and then it gives the listener something to enjoy besides the music, you know. So that's pretty much why I like doing it.
Now, continuing with that, do you believe it's important to study older music, and if so, why?
I feel like it is important to know the history of music or hip hop or whatever. I feel like if you know where it started and you understand what they had to work with, they did the best, and you know that they did the best they could with what they had. I feel like you should. I feel like it's a level of respect, in my opinion. Like you should. Like I respect the greats that did this previously. You know, so because to be honest with you, I mean, it's a lot of people that trash the old music. Like, I mean, I understand that it might not be for you, and like the sound is different now, but at the time, I feel like I always try to think about what they had to work with, because like Run DMC is like hip hop was like just now starting then. So it was more of like they was at the start of something great. Like they without like people like Run DMC, NWA, actually putting that, like fighting for the rights of hip hop, pretty much we wouldn't be here today. You know, that's just my thought. So I gotta respect them for putting out that particular music and striving to be the best and striving to fight for the rights of hip hop. You know, so that's just me.
Absolutely. I mean, in hip hop, it's such a weird thing to have older artists be disgruntled with the type of music that the newer artists are putting out, when if you look back at, you know, the 90s hip hop artists, I'm sure the Africa Bambaataa and Kool Moe Dee had an opinion about when gangster rap started to become popular and mainstream. So to see those artists, you know, not fully, some of them not fully supporting the younger kids and trap music and real melody focused music is, you know, it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I feel you on that, because I mean, I understand there are some artists that just probably in it for the money, but there's like still a lot of artists today that actually put out really good music, and I feel like they hear those particular quote unquote mumble rappers and like say that's all we have in the game today. Like, no, that's not all we have. Like, yeah, there are mumble rappers, but there are some other rappers that's out there that's actually great. You just have to try to, like, you just have to look out for them, and it's a lot of great artists out there. So I feel you on that particular statement.
What inspires you to create music?
Just the passion for it, man. A lot of people just make music just to try to get a quick check, but I actually love music. I mean, I think music is like an art form, and it's kind of spiritual. Like when you listen to music and it makes you feel good, like it's like the best feeling in the world. So it's like me creating music and trying to give it out to people so they can listen to it and enjoy it. It makes me feel good, So
now, can we talk about the first project that you released, Lost Time?
Oh yeah, Lost Times is one of those songs. I mean, one of those albums where it was originally an EP. And if you look at the track list, the first 5 songs are the actual Lost Time EP. The other 5 songs are just bonus tracks, pretty much. But I just released it as a full-fledged album when I did my name change. Lost Times, I was just saying, gotta make up for lost times, because when I was younger, I wasn't into music. Like from like the earlier stages of my years, I really wasn't into music, and I wasn't really listening to a lot of music or admiring. So that's why I said I gotta make up for lost times. Like I gotta make up for all the time that I lost not loving music, pretty much. So that's pretty much the background behind it.
And then your next project is titled To Be Continued, correct?
Yeah, To Be Continued. I released that under my FAR name, but I didn't re-upload it because To Be Continued was a EP. Well, it was kind of like a EP to my project that I'm probably gonna work on either after J-Wave or sometime after J-Wave. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the next project after J-Wave, but To Be Continued was just songs that I put out because I was working on a project called We Influence the Nation, but I didn't have time to finish it because I was going through a lot, and that's the album right before I moved to Kansas City, so I was going through a lot, and I wasn't able to put that We Influence the Nation project out, so I put those 8 songs out, To Be Continued, and I'm gonna probably put it on that tier for SoundCloud or something, so people can, because people actually enjoyed that project. So, but To Be Continued, I'm probably I'm gonna eventually finish We Influence the Nation. I just gotta get to a point where I can do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And how do you feel you as an artist and your music evolved from that first project onto To Be Continued?
Lost Times was where I felt like I could, when I released Lost Times, because it was a lot of trial and error right before Lost Times, because I had like 3 or 4 projects that I could have put out, but I didn't. And I was just like, I was just writing. I was like writing a lot. It was like every day almost. Like I would write like 2-3 songs a day. I was just like went like kind of like a maniac trapped in a dungeon, just writing on the wall type deal. That's how much I was writing. And it was like when I put out Lost Times, I was like, I think this is dope, And then after Lost Times, when I got the feedback from Lost Times, people were like, oh, this is dope, this is dope, this is dope. That's when I tried to work on We Influence the Nation. But it was a lot of was a lot of stuff going on, depression, anxiety, a lot of bad influences in my neighborhood that I was getting involved with, so I wasn't able to put that full-fledged project out. So that's why I put out To Be Continued right before I moved to Kansas City. And when I moved to Kansas City, that's when I dropped To Be Continued. People actually loved it. People were like, "Yo, you gonna drop that project that's supposed to be To Be Continued?" And I'm like, I don't know. People still asking to this day. So I'm like, I don't know. I think I get to a point where I can actually put it out. So, but I'm gonna put it out. I ain't gonna have people wait too long.
Now, you feel that your project Vanity has been one of your best projects to date. What about this project to you stands out?
The thing about this project, I feel like this particular project really flows together start to finish. Lost Times was just a EP at first, and the other songs are bonus tracks, and like when you listen to Lost Times, it's like it just sounds like a lot of songs that was like just well put together, but it's like Lost Times have some sort of structure to it, but not really a lot. But To Be Continued wasn't really finished, so I can't really call that a project. But Vanity was really the first project I actually structured start to finish. Like, I structured it to a T, and I feel like that's pretty, like right now, start to finish as an album, I feel like that's my best project.
And now you have a really interesting concept for the album Vanity. Can you talk about the idea behind this project?
It was because I had being a kid from the hood, not having a lot, always have to like struggle and try to fight for what I have, to going to from that to actually living a really good lifestyle, and kind of got like a little ego towards me, you know. And when I actually got to a point where I felt like I was just like going too hard on like spending money on stupid stuff, I came to the realization like, man, I'm becoming a vanity slave. I'm becoming a person that I'm not, pretty much, you know. And that's when I made this project, and that's pretty much the moral of the story. Like, you can, no matter how much money you have, or how much stuff you spend on money, or how much stuff you buy, or jewelry, cars, clothes, like, at the end of the day, that stuff ain't gonna define you as a person. Like, you got to find true happiness in other places, you know. So that's pretty much how Vanity went down.
Now you're currently working on a new project. What can we expect from J-Way?
J-Way is a project where I made, that is produced by my good friend Jeremiah Hill. J-Way is going to be that particular project where I've been me trying to make my best music after 10 years of rapping. I'm trying to like structure these songs in a way where every song can actually catch ears, catch people's attention, I should say. And it's really if I feel like this particular project could possibly beat out Vanity, so I'm really can't wait to put it out so people can hear it and get their opinions on it.
And now let's talk about your single, Chill Jill. What were some of the themes or concepts that you cover on this record?
Chill Jill is a song where me talking about meeting a girl, well, I can basically settle down with and chill with for the pretty much for the rest of my life type deal. It's when me writing this song. In the first verse, I basically talk about meeting a girl that I saw interest in, actually going to talk to her and like actually telling her, let her know that I'm actually interested in her, trying to get her to, just basically pretty much trying to talk to her, make sure she understand where I'm coming from and everything. It's like one of those type of tracks, just me trying to find a girl that's that I can chill with, vibe with for the rest of my life, pretty much. So.
What are your music career goals?
Music career goals. One of them, I want to be in a position where I can actually, move freely and have like I kind of wanna do an independent way of coming up. I mean, if I have to get signed to I know you got to be signed to at least a distribution company to distribution music, but at a point in time, I actually want to structure my own label and actually be one of those independent artists,
Now, what's one piece of advice that you could give for an aspiring musician or a musician who's just starting out in their music career?
One thing I can say is if you feel like you got something good, keep going. Don't let anybody tell you different. It's a lot of people that's gonna throw a lot of hate your way, a lot of negative energy, but you have to take it for what it is and keep striving. I mean, it's a lot of people that's trying to do what you're doing right now. So you got to keep pushing. And I feel like if you find a solid sound and perfect your craft the way you want it, I feel like the sky's the limit.
Can you share your social media links?
Social media links: Instagram, Fiat Rain, spell it FEARACKREIGN. Same thing as Twitter. Snapchat, Jarl Far, JARLFAR, and Facebook, Jarl Julius Far. At the moment, don't have a fan page just yet, but I'm working on it. So just hit me up and I can send you the links.
Is there anyone you'd like to acknowledge for offering you support in your music career?
Oh man, too many names to name, but I'll name some right off. Shout out to my brother Kato. He just dropped the project. Shout out to my brother Fizzo. He taught me everything about music. Shout out to my neighbor Money Harris, aka Ghetto Gold, Danny Robinson. Shout out to everybody, all my neighbors, all my homies, and shout out to Jeremiah. He'll produce Dayway. Did a great job, by the way. It's just too many people to name. They know who they are. I love all y'all. And if I left a whole bunch of people out, so I love all y'all, and keep on supporting me. And if I break that barrier, I'll make sure everybody is straight.
Is there anything else you'd like to promote or share?
One thing we didn't talk about and I probably didn't put it in my biography, is my 420 project that I put out last year called CDXX. It's a really dope EP that I put together. I got some really dope skits in that, so y'all want to check that out. And Janeway coming soon, so y'all keep posted for that.
I would like to give a very big thank you to my guests for joining me here today on the Creative Collective. As always, write your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And for all of your promotion, marketing, and music career consulting needs, email ennisproductions@gmail.com.